All right. How's everyone doing? I'm so glad to see you guys, and I hope we were just talking about the weather. I hope you're all staying warm or cool, depending where you're at. So we have some fun things to talk about this week. I don't want to keep you super long. I already chit-chatted a bunch before I hit record, so we can dive right in. I did want to just go over a couple of few housekeeping things.
I have
One,
something too when you're
sure.
done.
Okay. The Sure Thing sample has launched and I did it today. It was hard. It was really good and I enjoyed it. It was different than how we normally do sample workouts. Like I felt like it was a real workout versus like normally they do bits and pieces and a lot of talking and it's kind of annoying, if that's the right way to put it. So this was like a good legit workout that was like a section of what it would be if we did the real program. So I definitely recommend checking that out. And if it's something you want to do, we can plan on maybe doing a launch group and all that good stuff. I've heard from a few people, including Jesse, that the new Shakeology flavor, the special flavor, is amazing. Is she singing?
Holly, are you singing? She does not realize she's not on mute.
If she's singing, she's really good.
I know.
Hold on. I can't figure out how to. There. Okay. Maybe she was real life singing. All right, here we go. So the new flavor is amazing, and I want to try it. My whole bod renewal is coming up, and I'm trying to figure out what I want to get. So that's tomorrow. And we have our coach event going on right now. I think it's going pretty well. And we're just going to keep showing up, sharing the coaching opportunity that we should be sharing all month as we continue to push towards our goals. We have Thanksgiving coming up, which can be a lot. And I encourage you guys to take time to be with your families and do your thing and know that that's the beauty of coaching. Like you can kind of take days off, be with family, pick it up when you're ready. I know I'll be traveling, so I hope you enjoy it and dive back in to reach your goals, because even after Thanksgiving, we have a few more days till the end of the month and it is so possible. So with that, Corinne, I know you said you wanted to mention something as I said that as you took a bite, sorry.
Just eating. On our team, we used to do wins and goals for the week and we used to write them down. I thought I could maybe bring that over here for you guys. And everybody can just share a win. You can type in the chat or you can share it out loud. And then I always ask like for one business goal and one personal goal for like the week so that you can see if you hit it for next week. And I used to write them down and then we talk about them the following week. Just, have extra incentive and accountability.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Do you want to do that?
Sure. I don't know if you guys want to end with that or.
Yeah, we can end.
Yeah, we usually.
Is that what you normally do?
Yeah.
Okay, I like that. And I think it's awesome because everyone has a win, even if they feel like they don't. So we'll celebrate it. Anything else before we dive on in, and we'll save time for that at the end. Okay, so I know in our WhatsApp chat, we've been all sharing podcasts and all the exciting things because there's so much content out there. I don't even have time to listen to it all. But we wanted to touch on one topic that I 100% think can be so beneficial for anyone, a brand new coach, a coach that's been coaching for years, anyone, because as social media shifts and marketing changes, like we need to be in with what is working now. We can't just be doing the copy paste, hey girl type messages, which we're going to go into more depth. So it was the Stop the Hey Girl podcast, and she talked about messaging and marketing for your business. So right now it seems like a lot of her podcasts are going to be about marketing. So if this is something that you think you need to work on, something that you just want to kind of dig into a little bit more for your business, I would keep listening to her. And we can share that podcast if you're not sure what I'm talking about, but it is literally called Stop the Hey Girl by Kayla Ibanez. I think that's how you say her last name. So we just wanted to share some things with you and hoping with the hope that you guys take some action, because I've already kind of changed up how I do things just from listening the other day. So anyone that's listened can definitely jump in and add little like extra points that they loved, whatever, but we're going to dive right in. So for marketing, she basically goes into this whole thing of how it's about your strategy, your tactics, how you talk to people, what you say, and everything. It pulls people in. And depending on how you're communicating to people, that could be your yes or your no in your invite. If you're wording it in a way that they don't understand, if you're wording it in a way that's too broad, if you're wording it in a way that doesn't really pique their interest because it's not addressing challenges they're having, they're just going to say, no, I'm not interested. No, I don't need a new routine. No, it's not for me. And then we normally just let it go and we say, oh, okay, maybe next time, can I follow up in the future? But I think if we're able to really narrow in on our communication and our message, we're one, going to find our people, and two, we're going to figure out, like, within the people that we're talking to, there's going to be very similar misconceptions or like things that people are like, oh, I'm too busy. Excuses. That's the word I'm looking for, I guess. But so I think if we dig into this and take some tips from it, it can be really helpful, because you want to stand out in your business. And so many times I've done it forever. It's, hey, do you want to join me in a new health, fitness, and mindset accountability group? That's what I say. And basically, I'm realizing that is way too broad and open-ended, and people see it as all different things when I say that. So I've really worked into like narrowing down my message from that aspect. I can keep talking, but I want other people to jump in if they have comments or anything off of that.
I feel like a lot when we're messaging people, I think I talked about this last week, is like you have word vomit and you provide like way too much information. And I think it overwhelms people rather than trying to just touch on maybe something that they are struggling with. Like, we don't know what other people are struggling with unless they're like us and share it on social media all the time. And they might be able to relate to you if you are, expressing something that's going on in your life, or they see that you're struggling. I know the wake up call actually touched on that too. And I enjoyed listening to that. So I don't know if you guys had listened to that this week yet, but it was a good one. But I know for she called me out. I don't know if it was the first one I listened to, Abby, or if it was the second one, but I said, wow, I feel like I just got attacked in a good way.
About the bod thing.
How we message people, and I'm like, yeah, I was the hey girl, hey. So now it's more like genuinely, I'm concerned about, what's going on with their life, and you're noticing what's going on with their, like, maybe their kids struggle with asthma and you want to see how they're doing, or somebody passed away, or things like that. Like, you actually are concerned and want to, be an outlet for that person. So
yeah, and I think it all goes back to like building those relationships first and then inviting. But also when we do invite, just making sure we're pretty clear, like literally sit here and think, what are your beliefs about what we do for fitness? when you say fitness, what do you actually mean if you break it down to the next level? Do you mean like, be a real human? So for example, like when I say fitness, someone can literally think fitness, oh my gosh, I don't have time for that. That means the gym, that means hours of time. That means I need all the equipment. That means I need all the space. That means I need to know what I'm actually doing. But really, what we mean, what we have is a streaming pass that you can do workouts from anywhere, that have programs put together that can be anywhere from 20 minutes to an hour. So it makes it easy to fit it into your routine. You don't need a lot of space. You don't need a lot of time. But if you told a random person that said fitness and hasn't watched your stuff, can you see how their brain would go in a different direction and think, oh, I don't have time for that. Oh, no, I can't do that. Or maybe they think of like a personal trainer at the gym and they're like, oh no, I don't have the money or time for any of it. And then we just say, okay. But what if we were like switching our wording a bit? So let me give you another example. Health, wellness. Do you say that? Maybe you mean nutrition, which then what do you mean by nutrition? Do you mean a diet? Do you mean a quick fix? Do you mean keto? Do you mean intermittent fasting? Do you mean literally just learning how to fuel your body so you can feel good and not restrict yourself? Because when I say nutrition, that's what I mean. I mean, having a nutrition program that teaches you how to fuel your body without restricting yourself. And then accountability, what does that mean? A community, maybe that means a community or a group of other women that are also doing this with you. Maybe the accountability you're talking about means one-on-one accountability. Mindset can mean a million things. And I think it's kind of crazy because I say mindset because I think I just never really thought about it. Like anyone could consider a lot of things a mindset shift or working on your mindset. So I have shifted my language to say something like also working on showing up for ourselves and filling our own cups so we can show up as our best selves. That's what I mean by mindset. So instead of saying, hey, do you want to join me this month? I have a fitness, health, an accountability group kicking off focused on fitness, nutrition, and mindset. I'm going to say, hey, I have a fitness. Okay, hold on one second. I forget my first wording, but basically it's going to say, hey, would you like to join me where we do workouts from home that fit into a busy day, where you don't need a lot of equipment or space. Also focus in on learning how to fuel our bodies without restriction. And then in general, just learning to love on ourselves and fill our own cup so we can show up the best for our loved ones. Would you want to do this with me? So it's more words, but I don't think it's word vomit. I think it's clarifying versus leaving it up for interpretation. So then someone's going to be your person or they're not. And you would say, wow, I really do need this. Or no, I don't, because they actually know what you're talking about now. This is such a simple concept, but I feel like I had a light bulb moment. Did anyone else feel that if they listened or just heard me speak?
I definitely did, and not to like keep it going in circles because you said it beautifully. But as Corinne said, like when they talk about and when you just mentioned like the whole wellness, I put wellness in all of my things, but the podcast goes to like, what is wellness? What does that look like? And breaking that down. So really trying not to just do like blanket statements, even though you think that we all are talking about the same thing, because we're not. So getting like extremely clear on your messaging, and then you'll be talking to someone instead of just talking to no one.
Abby, I'm not sure what your other points are. So stop me if I like start going and you're like, wait, I'm going to touch on this later. So, but I listened to, it was like a training thing from Josh Coates, but he was touching on like how we should share stuff that is appealing to our people that were like our niche people. And so like he gave an example with like the shakes and stuff. He was like, no one cares about your 150 superfoods in a shake. He's like, that does not matter. Most people don't wake up saying, oh, how am I gonna get my superfoods in today? And so he was like, that's not something that's going to draw people in. That's just kind of like, okay, whatever, and scroll past it. But instead we should focus on like, okay, what is it that they're actually wanting from this? So how could this benefit them? So like people, they're overwhelmed, they want more time, they want to save money, they have busy schedules, they want speed, they want, you know, all the things. And so instead of like taking the approach like, okay, look at these superfood shake, it's awesome. Instead be like, okay, these shakes can save you time because they can be a meal replacement. They can save you money because they can be a meal replacement, and you'll get lots of nutrients in as well, give you more energy, et cetera, et cetera. And so really just shifting that focus to like what the customers want to hear. And he even suggested like make a Venn diagram, like think, okay, what do they want? What do you have? And what do you normally say? And then find that middle ground in between and use that to get them like coming to you basically.
I love that. And on that note, because that was like a light bulb for me, because Kayla mentions like meeting people's problem. Like that's her marketing thing, is like finding a problem. And so on your post, you could start with that and be like, have you just been like begging for more time lately? Have you been struggling to find what to eat for lunch? And then throw in all the beautiful things that you just said, but like, here is the solution to your problem, instead of, yeah, here are superfoods.
Thanks for sharing that, both of you. Yeah, it's crazy because we have like our lingo and what we hear all the time through our business, but these are normal people that probably barely have time to do much of anything extra. So if you're not speaking directly to their problems, they're going to say, no thanks. So everything we talk about, I think our language matters. And kind of think who your audience is. It's kind of like, okay, if my audience is moms who get up with babies in the middle of the night, who are tired, who are maybe chasing a toddler around and don't have time to make food, like all the things. And what is gonna connect with them? Energy. They want energy. They want a quick, easy meal. They want a quick, easy workout. That's my target audience. So think about what your target audience would want or need, and then use that in all your lingo. And you can be repetitive as can be. I feel like lately my reels are very, very similar yet different, but the same message is there. And I think it's going to keep reaching my same people, because if you're being too vague and very like high level, you're never going to find your people. You're never going to connect with anyone. But if you literally narrow it down even one level, you're going to be speaking directly to someone, and they're going to get started with you. Yes, that's a good one, Tiffany. So I think Kayla said this, Kayla said that in her podcast, she's like, no one cares about the Netflix of workouts or the 1,500 workouts you offer on BOD, because there's so many workouts they can choose from. They don't need variety. That's not one of their problems. So that's another really good example. So yes, I would recommend thinking of your market and then thinking about when you say these like common use words that we use every single day, what you actually need, and narrow it down and put those words in place of it. The other thing that she talked about was literally, one, be yourself. You don't need to like, I know it's so easy to copy and paste or say what other successful coaches are saying, but if you could take a minute and take a step back and really personalize your message and be you, that's going to flow throughout your page on social media, but then also in your messages. Because if you're trying to take someone else's messages and flop it and flip it and make it yours, it's going to seem kind of disconnected. So even if you have an idea and you see like that it works for someone, I would just make sure it fits into like how you would normally say it as well. The next thing I had was just the 4 steps of the marketing that she talked about. But does anyone else have any thoughts or comments about all of this?
Just checking, which was this the episode 162 you shared like a couple days ago?
Yes, and I believe it was the one right under that as well. Let me double check. So it's episode 161 and 162.
Okay.
So 161 is the fixture messaging, and then 162 is more the marketing strategy, which is the 4 steps that I can go into unless anyone has any comments about what we just said. There's a short and sweet podcast too, so you can listen to them. Okay, so for marketing, she said there's 4 key tips. The first one is to educate them, and basically it's like dumbing down what we offer. It's like they would need to know what we're even talking about, so we're dumbing it down like we're talking to a 5-year-old or whatever. And when we say fitness, we're dumbing it down to, no, you can work out from anywhere. You don't need a lot of equipment. You don't need a lot of time in that kind of aspect. So as we're talking about things in our posts and our stories, we're saying those words versus just fitness. And then she goes into the principle, which is what they need to believe to be interested. So what they need to believe to be interested is kind of like saying facts. So it's like, oh, for me, I wrote down some of mine. It would be, wow, I'm so glad I can work out without a commute. I get a better workout here than at the gym because I'm giving a program. I'm not going to plateau, and I'm not repeating the moves and going into a gym without knowing what to do, which a lot of people do that. They think the gym's a better deal. They go, see no results, waste a ton of time, waste a ton of money because all they're getting is access to a building. And then they wonder why it's not working, and it's frustrating. So my principle and my facts that I want to start sharing more are no commute, little time needed, little space needed, little equipment needed, but like kind of calling out the gym and the opposite things that people have the belief of. Does that make sense? And then she went into problem awareness and problem priority. So if your problem is you don't have enough time and you're not seeing results, or you have no energy, just addressing those problems within your marketing. So, hey, I know you feel like you don't have enough time, or I know you feel like you have no energy, but like, hey, I have the solution for you, which is number 4, solution. She basically summed it up by saying like a good way to wrap it up for the solution is I host programs you can follow with no guesswork, less time, at home workouts where you don't need to have a sitter. Your babies can be there with you or napping. You're going to get more results and move on with your day. Like for me, I want to incorporate the whole baby thing, but you don't have to. So like for my solution, I host programs you can follow that takes out the guesswork. You don't need a lot of time, and you can be at home with your babies while they nap or they're sitting right there with you. And basically you can get your workout done and move on with your day and not miss out on time with them. And that will equal you having more energy and just feeling overall better throughout your busy day. So I think we do this kind of like unknowingly, but now we have kind of more structure to like, okay, make sure you're educating people, make sure they understand what you even offer, which goes into our messaging that we talked about previously. Then the principle, the root cause that they need to believe. So what are you trying to get them to believe? What is that fact that you know why this freaking works? Beat that down in your marketing, share it with them. Why do you show up every day? Why do you believe this is better than the gym? Why do you pick this over anything else? Share that. And then just addressing their problems so they feel like they can relate to you and that you would be helping them with their problems and give them a solution. So it is pretty simple, but it's something just to be more aware of. And I think it could be really helpful. Any thoughts or comments on that?
I was listening to, I think it was episode 164, and in that one, she was kind of going through this, like without saying the 4 steps and stuff. But basically she was just saying, don't like stop when they shut you down the first time and stuff. And so like keep trying and keep persisting, and don't just take no for an answer, because a lot of people like, they don't know what they're saying no to, and they're also like facing a wall there, and they're kind of testing you to be like, okay, is she gonna help me work through this, or what are we gonna do? And so once you start like addressing their problems and stating the facts and then finding solutions, they kind of like walk through it and can figure things out. And that's happened to me a ton this week. And so far it's like Tuesday, but just like knowing, taking that podcast and just applying it, it's been awesome to see what's come from it already. So that's something that I have come to be like, yeah, I support that. That works.
No, that's awesome. And that's a good point. It's not, and it's kind of a full circle moment of what we talked about at the beginning. It's like, address their problems, but don't just say, okay, I'll talk to you later. Maybe ask them a little bit more or challenge them a bit in a nice way of what sounds right to you. And I know it can be uncomfortable, but if you're coming from your heart, and like, I'll even say like, if someone's like, I'm not interested, I'll say, oh, do you have a routine you currently love or are enjoying and feel good on? Just to get them talking about it. And then maybe they're like, yeah, I go to the gym. I'm like, oh, awesome. Like, do you focus on nutrition as well? What kind of workouts do you enjoy? And I just get them talking until they realize something. Maybe they're not seeing the results. They're not feeling that good. Maybe they're not even touching anything with nutrition. And that's a reason why. So I think getting people to talk really helps. And then in regards to challenging them, sometimes if I send them like a share cart, for example, and I always have people saying, yeah, I'm still thinking about it. Yeah, I'll let you know. And I'm like, I want to say, okay, and kind of just follow up. But what I say is there something specific holding you back that I can explain better, or something that makes you nervous to start something new? Like what's going on? And just see what they say, because it's not like you're telling them what they have to do or what to spend their money on. You're literally asking them a question to share with you. And I found that approach really helps me feel like more comfortable doing that. And people like talking about themselves. So have you guys found any approaches that work for you, or any things that you'd like to say when you kind of reach out and challenge people?
So the one like obvious one that comes to mind for me is when I'm actually having the conversation about coaching and people say, well, I can't be a coach because like I have to still meet my goal, or I can't even keep myself accountable. I just need to show up on my own workouts. And so that's a really easy one that's like a no at first, but then I can come in and say, no, coaching has kept me so much more accountable because I not only show up for myself, but others. I make money. So I'm able to sort of debunk that no. That's just an immediate like self-doubt, which is what Kayla was talking about in that episode. It's just like their kind of defense mechanism of like setting themselves not up for failure. Like if they don't start something, they can't fail. So that's one that I do. And then I think it's actually the third podcast that Tiffany was mentioning. I think that's the one where she also said in her messaging, I don't know which one, to ask people like straight up before you send them a card or share something with them of just clarity. Is there anything stopping you from getting started today and getting them to like give you a clear yes or no? And I've actually started incorporating that in my messaging and have gotten people to be more clear on if this is going to work or not, and if not, why, and when things might work, and getting those conversations going rather than previously when it would just kind of like you send a share cart and then they stop responding to you. So it kind of takes away those barriers also.
Thank you. Yeah, that's a really good, all those examples were really good. And honestly, guys, all her podcasts are really awesome and they're short to the point, and I love them. They don't go on forever. So definitely recommend them. That is honestly all I had. I feel like it's really short, sweet, simple, and it's just taking action on it. If you're taking the action and inviting people, make sure you're being specific with them and marketing on your storefront, which is your social media. So I hope you got some tips from this and things that you want to take action with, at least one thing, and try it out this week. See if it works for you. And if it doesn't, you switch it up again. You figure out what does work and go from there. But I think these are some really good tactics that we can incorporate and find our people. All right, are we going to go into our win and goals? You start with the win.
Yeah, we do like a win for the week and then your goal for like next week. And it does not have to be Beachbody related. It can be anything.
Sweet. Do you want to start?
Oh, okay.
You don't have to. Anyone want to start?
I'm about to call Amy out because she is a new coach, and I'm pretty sure she hit like Success Club. She might be at 10 at this point. I don't know. I have to check. What are you at? But she's helped 5 new people like in a week, and she just started. So
Okay, well, I have like a lot of people who are like, yeah, I want to join your group. Send me a card. And I send them a card and they're like, I'm totally gonna sign up. I'm signing up right now. And like they're still like on Viewed. I'm like, okay. So like if they all actually do, yeah, it'll be like 10 people, but you know. And a lot of them are family, so I can get a little sassier with them, you know, like do it. But it's been a lot of like
I don't know what she's doing, but I told her I need you to help me because she'll put a post up and she gets all these like people, and I'm like, where are all these people? But that's all her warm market, which I was talking about today. Which
it's a lot of randoms. I'm gonna be honest with you. It's a lot of like people that I'm like, I forgot we were friends on Facebook. I'm like, oh hey girl. But hey, it works.
Which is great. What's your goal? That I gave you a win. What's your goal for next week?
My goal for next week to get those people to move their carts from Viewed to purchased.
There you go. And start your first group.
And well, that's for that's the following week.
Okay. We'll set it up.
Yeah. We'll get it set up.
Awesome. I love it. All the energy. Anyone else?
I will go because I have to put my little monster to bed soon.
Okay.
My win is being able to bend my knee to like 90 degrees and keep it there while I'm sitting. And I've been driving. I get to go back to the office tomorrow, so I'm super excited. You are my monster, yep. And my goal is to get back on my personal development because now I'll be in the car driving to daycare and to work, which is where I seem to find the most success with that is listening to it on my short and sweet commute. And nutrition. I do really great during the week. I do my shakes because I have my routine, but then on the weekends I just fail miserably. So that's my goal, is to get that under control.
Awesome. Thanks for sharing. I'm
Thanks.
glad you're doing better.
Yes, thank you so much. It's been about a little over a month, so that's pretty quick if you think about it.
You're a fast healer.
Thanks to Beachbody for keeping me in shape.
Y'all have to share, so you might as well just go ahead and unmute yourselves.
All right. Someone's sharing in the chat. Her one is workout related. She finished one and started a new program and has been consistent. That's a huge win. That is definitely a win. And her goal is to focus on nutrition and try to keep everything consistent and post more in groups and social media for her coaching. Love it. That's awesome. I'm so excited for you to start the new program, and you have been so consistent, and that's a huge, huge win. That is how we're successful in our own journeys and our coaching business.
I'll go next.
Oh, go for it.
Oh, who's going? Go ahead.
Okay. So my win this week is getting people to actually respond that haven't responded in like a week or two. So that was good. And now we're rolling. My goal this next week is to get up earlier because there's never enough time in a day, and I'm like putting my workout off until last minute, and it's just too much for me. So gonna get up earlier and get things going.
Love it.
Okay, my win is I didn't eat candy for a week. That's a really big win for me. I know it's sad to say, but that's the win. And then another win is just continuing to move my body each day because this pregnancy is kicking my ass. And we are 2 centimeters dilated. So she might be coming sooner than we would like, but that's fine. My goal is to continue to push. I've been in a very bad negative headspace. I'm not where I want to be for the month. I cried to Connor the other night because I have such high expectations for myself before the 10th of each month. But I'm not there. The month is not over. There's no reason to stress. But now I'm like, she's coming. Like, what if she comes? And I'm not at my goals. So I stopped, self-wallowing, and I'm going to put in more work. So that's just what you do. So my goal is to get 2 new people signed up. I have all these people interested, but they're just stop responding, even though they're ready to go. So that's my goal for next week. And another one is I did not like the topic that I had to speak on today because I feel like I'm not great at that. And I felt like I did an okay job of speaking on it. So hopefully people.
No, you did good. It was in our coaching event about adding to your network. You did great. So I have a question. When are they predicting baby will come?
They didn't say. Everyone keeps asking me questions. I'm like,
are you fully effaced? Do they tell you that? Am I frozen or is she frozen? Okay. We'll see if she comes back. Anyone else? Oh,
Isabel put hers in the chat.
I missed it.
What happened?
You froze. Could you hear me?
What did you ask me, Abby?
Did they say if you're fully effaced or
I don't even know what that means, and people keep asking me that today, and I'm like, I don't know.
I didn't know either until everyone asked me, and then I had to ask the doctors. It means like that, like lining, like dilation is like when you're expanding, but there's like
Yeah.
a lining that like basically opens, like
Well, she said-
disappears. So like
She
the baby
said she
can.
could feel her skull, so I don't know. what
Okay,
that
so
means.
you're probably fully effaced.
So we're just praying and hoping that she stays put. I'm not ready.
What's your due date?
The 12th of December. So less than 4 weeks.
I'll be thinking about you. That's
She's
not
staying
really-
put. I got stuff to do still.
The doctor saying she could feel the skull is kind of
I know. I was like,
hopeful.
and Connor was supposed to leave for a work trip Tuesday, and he's like, so I shouldn't go? And I was like, no, you shouldn't leave the state to go to Portland across the country. Okay.
All those jumping jacks are jiggling your baby down.
Yeah, I probably shouldn't have done the sample workout yesterday either, but I loved it.
No,
Whatever. People run marathons pregnant. It's fine.
she'll come when she's ready.
Yep, she'll be here when she wants.
All right, Isabel shared in the chat. First day on her workout. Control freak off the wall. I love that one. And she loved it. And she got weights. And you're going to do the second one tonight while the kids are watching TV. Perfect. And my goal is to lose the remaining 25 pounds and help others, especially my family. They aren't happy with their weight, and I could be their motivation. I love that. Thank you.
I survived the week from AG double hockey sticks last week. We had 2 more layoffs with work with my current job. And now we have 4 people doing the work of 8. So that's been an adjustment and is an adjustment. We had an hour-and-a-half meeting with my boss last week and yesterday. And it was interesting. So my goal now, besides trying to survive right now with everything going on, is to get back with all of my centering items. I haven't listened to a national wake-up call in probably 5 weeks now. It just hasn't happened. And getting back onto my podcasts, because I used to listen to them when we were slower at work, and it hasn't happened in the past probably month. So it's definitely getting back into those and seeing if shifting back in and getting focused again, just to see what I can do.
Awesome. I know that listening to those things probably will help with mindset and all of that good stuff. So I hope you have time for that.
My coach Katie that's on, she's doing bath time. She says my goal is to get my group up and running for next week. And her win is that she completed more workouts this month than she did last month. And we have just started this month, so that's awesome.
I'll say my win is just giving myself some grace, because I've been like really hard on myself because I haven't been feeling the best. Like I've had a lot of like lower like pelvic pressure and pain. I feel like he's sitting like super low. I have an appointment on Thursday, so I don't know if I'll get all the checkups like Korean did. We shall see. But so I've been in a lot of pain, so I've been taking it easier or just taking days off, especially when I work, because like I know I would not make it through a shift like if I worked out beforehand, because I'm in so much pain come like 3-4 o'clock when I'm finishing up. So just giving myself some grace, like, and even in my workouts I get frustrated because I can't do what I know I could do, so I'm just like, relax, like do what you can. So and then a goal would be just focusing more on myself. Like Celia said, like I've been slacking on like podcasts and personal development. So I want to focus back on that. And I feel like that just helped my overall mindset with everything. as we go into this last month with this pregnancy. So we'll see.
Hang in there. They're so close.
Yeah.
Oh, hi, Kahlua. Anyone else?
I can't wait to have your guys' babies as more team babies so that Brady has like team mascot friends. It's gonna be so fun.
I know we'll have to bring them all on the call one time.
I can't
Yeah.
wait.
It'll be so cute.
Yes. So honestly, my biggest win, not like this business related, but it was affecting my mindset, which also affects this business, is we just put away like 3 weeks worth of laundry from traveling and Run Disney and like all the things. And it was just piling up and it was becoming like so stressful and too much. And right before a team call, we put it all away and I feel so much better. And that was a lot of laundry. So huge win. And yeah, now like life can go on. And then my goal for the week, I have a few I want to do. Yeah, that's like my nightmare, Tiffany, just rotating the loads, and it was just rotating and rotating, and then like I'm not home all the time to keep it rotating. So like I'd put it in and then I'd like go to a doctor's appointment or go grocery shopping and then is another one. And like it was just such a mess. But my goal is to do more invites and connect with people. And then also focus on my mindset more too, because world has been crazy. I'm having car problems, the holidays, like all the things that just pile up. So really dialing in and making sure that when I am connecting and inviting, I'm putting out like fun energy that people want to work with and not sharing the energy of my car problems. So, and then I made Steven make goals too, because he's a coach also. So what did you say that your win was for the week?
My win?
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm just sending my clients cards and trying to get them to work out.
You did. You sent a few cards this week, which was awesome.
I did.
And then you said your goal was,
Well, I'm just gonna follow up with them and make sure they buy it.
yay! I love it.
It's simple, but it works.
None of my coaches can talk, so I'm talking for them. Holly's win is being welcomed into this community as a coach. And a goal of hers is to help at least 10 women in the next 6 months. So I like that she like gave herself numbers. And then Morgan said her goal is to get a group up and running. And a win is accepting that she needed help. She has been going through a lot of like mental health things. So she has reached out to her like PCP and she is going to start working on that. So I think that's a really big win for her. And that's important because mental health is a thing. And I think a lot of people struggle with that. And it's okay to ask for help. And I think this community provides a safe space for that. So thanks for sharing that, Morgan.
All right, I'll go. I would say my win this week is just being flexible and not losing my crap when it has to be flexible, which has been ever since Brady's born. But I like kind of feel proud because I don't get myself as stressed out and anxious, and I just kind of go with it. And now I'll just get done what I can, even if that means everything for my business is done when she goes to bed at night. She's been doing this crying thing when she's exhausted, and it's so sad. And I think it's taking a lot of my energy because I feel so terrible when she's screaming. But it's like the screaming, like she's telling me she's tired as I'm rocking her, and then she passes out mid-scream. So I hope it's just a stage, but I think staying calm is a win. My goal is to share more like life content on my social media throughout the holidays, and just different things like that I've been enjoying. Like I shared some clothing today. I'm going to share these little scrapbook things and just things that I think my people can connect to, that like they actually might enjoy. Because I kind of lose sight of that sometimes when I'm just trying to get something up there on my story. And then I also want to work on what we talked about today with the marketing verbiage and messaging and all that stuff. Is that it? Okay. Are you guys ready to take on this week? I know it feels like it's more than Tuesday, but we got this. Next week is Thanksgiving, so we just have something to look forward to. Hang in there. And I think this call went really well, but if you have any questions about it or something comes to your head and you're like, want to just talk about it or talk through it, let me know and we'll go from there. All right, everyone have a good night.
Good night.